In a pivotal phone call, U.S. President Donald Trump and Russian President Vladimir Putin reportedly made progress toward ending the war in Ukraine. The White House portrayed the discussion as a breakthrough, citing an agreement on a temporary halt to strikes on energy infrastructure. However, the Kremlin's response was more cautious, making it clear that Russia still had several demands before considering a broader ceasefire. The conversation also reflected a potential shift in U.S. Russia relations, with both leaders acknowledging the need for long-term diplomatic engagement. According to the White House, the call primarily revolved around ending hostilities in Ukraine and redirecting resources toward national priorities. Trump reportedly stressed that the conflict should have been resolved earlier and expressed optimism about a full ceasefire, including maritime security negotiations in the Black Sea. The leaders also discussed broader geopolitical issues, including the Middle East, arms control, and bilateral economic cooperation. The U.S. narrative suggested a forward-looking approach, aiming for strategic peace rather than a temporary pause. The Kremlin statement, however, highlighted Russia's security concerns and skepticism about Ukraine's commitment to peace agreements. Putin thanked Trump for his diplomatic efforts, but emphasized that any resolution must address Russia's strategic interests. Moscow also insisted that halting Ukraine's military mobilization and Western arms supplies were prerequisites for lasting peace. The Kremlin underscored its distrust of Kyiv, citing past violations of ceasefire agreements and alleged attacks on civilians in Russian-controlled regions. The humanitarian aspect of the conversation was also significant. Trump reportedly urged Putin to ensure the humane treatment of Ukrainian soldiers trapped in the Kursk region. In response, Putin confirmed that surrendering Ukrainian troops will be treated according to international law. Additionally, a temporary ceasefire on energy infrastructure was agreed upon, with Putin ordering Russian forces to comply. Plans for a March 19 prisoner exchange, 175 detainees from each side, were also confirmed, along with Russia's pledge to release 23 wounded Ukrainian soldiers receiving medical treatment in its hospitals. While the call marked a notable moment in diplomatic engagement, its long-term impact remains uncertain. The U.S. and Russian narratives reveal different priorities. Washington presents a dialogue as a step toward reconciliation, while Moscow frames it as a negotiation on its terms. The global community will closely monitor whether this discussion leads to a genuine peace process or merely a strategic pause before further escalation.